All right, let's just jump right into this explainer. Look, if you've ever felt completely stuck in your career, like you're constantly firing off job applications or launching new projects, but absolutely nothing seems to stick, well, you might be relying entirely on mundane, everyday actions while completely ignoring a massive source of leverage. Today, we're unpacking African spiritual technologies. And according to the source material we're looking at, this is not about passive magic or, just thinking happy thoughts. Actually, scratch that, it's presented as a highly structured, rapid-fire formula for breaking career stagnation. We're talking about actively shifting reality to manifest success.
Which brings us to the core concept here, Ashe. It's pronounced Ashe. In traditional African spirituality, Ashe is literally defined as the divine power to make your spoken words manifest into physical reality. But here's the absolutely crucial part to understand. The sources don't treat this as some mystical fairy tale. They treat it as a tangible technology. It's an entire system that relies on sound frequencies, vibrations, natural elements, and even ancestry to completely bypass mere wishful thinking. It's about actually forcing reality to shift around your goals.
So here's the roadmap for the explainer today. First, we'll cover the mechanics of this spiritual technology. Second, the 5 traditional formulas. Third, a 15-minute morning ritual. Fourth, cleansing your workspace. And fifth, crushing your internal doubts. It's going to be a super practical journey, taking you from ancient concepts straight to step-by-step rituals you can do right at your desk.
All right, let's kick things off with Part 1, Spiritual Technology Explained, and exactly how it bypasses wishful thinking.
So traditional African spiritual systems, like Ifa, Vodun, and Kemetic traditions, they view manifestation as an active manipulation of energy. Think about the normal approach, right? People say, oh, I hope I get a job. That is entirely passive. It's just a wish floating in the wind. But an Ashe command, that's completely different. That's stating your desire as a finished fact in the present tense. You don't hope, you command. You speak it out loud as if the ink is already dry on the contract. And according to the text, that is step 1 in actively manipulating your reality.
Okay, moving right along to Part 2, the 5 traditional formulas, or what we're calling the ancient toolkit.
Think of this as a highly advanced toolkit for the modern professional. The sources outline the specific traditional formulas used to manipulate manifestation on the spot. We've got the power word, the Kemetic chant, the sound of opening doors, breath and spit, and finally, pouring libation. Let's dive in and break down exactly how you can put each one of these tools to work. First up is the power word itself, Ashe. This is literally the ultimate word of command. It means so be it, or the power to make things happen. The move here is to state your desire as a finished fact and then stamp it with authority by chanting Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. But here's the real game changer outlined in the sources. You actually speak this directly into a glass of water, and then you drink it. Why? Well, because water holds memory. So doing this carries the precise vibration of your command straight into your physical cells, instantly.
Tool number 2 is the Kemetic chant, which is also known as the Heko of the sun. The phrase is Nuk Pu Ra, which translates to I am the creator sun. Back in ancient Egypt, or Kemet, these exact words of power were spoken to align the human mind with literal cosmic creation. The instructions say to chant this 27 times, ideally during sunrise or right at noon. And the text explains that doing this elevates your personal vibration so incredibly high that things like scarcity or unemployment, they simply cannot exist in your energy field. They just bounce off.
Next, we have the sound of opening doors. Now, in the Yoruba tradition, Eshu is the cosmic force that literally holds the keys to opportunities and new pathways. The chant goes like this. Eshu odara, onatiti silenafumi. Basically, Eshu, the force of alignment, opened the pathways for me. Now, the trick to this one is chanting it while you are standing at a physical threshold, like right at your front door. The source claims that doing this clears spiritual blockages around your career scary fast, like seriously fast.
Our 4th tool is a truly fascinating formula called breath and spit. In indigenous African systems, your breath, or ME, actually contains your biological life force. So, here's what you do. You write your exact career goal on a piece of paper, hold it right up to your mouth, speak your command, and then you blow a sharp, hot breath onto it 3 times. And you finish with a tiny drop of saliva. I know, it sounds intense, but then you fold the paper toward you and stick it under a heavy object. This practice literally binds your biological life force to that physical written goal.
And our 5th and final tool is pouring libation. This creates what the text calls ancestral speed. The logic here makes total sense.
You are the physical, walking manifestation of thousands of ancestors. And guess what? They want you to succeed to keep the bloodline thriving. So, you take some clean water, pour a few drops onto the floor or maybe into a potted plant, and simply ask your elevated ancestors to clear the path for your career. Because, as the saying goes, when you respect the roots, the tree bears fruit immediately.
All right, that brings us to part 3, the 15-minute morning ritual, where we bridge the spoken word with your digital actions.
So, we've got the toolkit. Now it's time to put it to work. Before you even touch your keyboard, the magic number here is absolutely crucial. 15. The sources promise that a simple 15-minute routine done at sunrise or right before you pop open your laptop perfectly blends these ancient spoken formulas with your modern everyday actions, like applying for remote jobs or building a digital business.
Let's quickly walk through the 4 steps of this ritual. Step 1 is ground and purify. You stand barefoot, pour 3 drops of water on the floor, and ask your ancestors to guide your hands for the day. Step 2 is the cosmic frequency shift. You sit down, close your eyes, chant Nuk Pu Ra 27 times, and just visualize this glowing golden sun expanding right out of your chest to completely burn away any doubt. Step 3, charging tech tools. You take a sip of water but hold it in your mouth. Hover your hands over your laptop, swallow, look at the screen, and use that Eshu chant to command the digital pathways to open up for you. And finally, step 4 is the seal of command. You speak your daily goals out loud as finished facts, like, today my resume lands on the desk of the perfect employer. You stamp it with Ashe, Ashe, Asheo, and then you immediately get to work. No scrolling social media allowed.
Which brings us right into part 4, cleansing your workspace or removing trapped energetic imprints.
Look, even if your mindset is bulletproof, your physical environment still matters. Big time. According to the text, a lot of what we call procrastination is honestly just stagnant energy trapped right there around your desk. To fix this, the source lays out an incredibly grounded elemental method. Step 1 is a physical reset. Just wipe down your desk and your tech because physical clutter literally traps low vibration energy. Step 2, the salt barrier. You put a tiny pinch of sea salt in the 4 corners of your workspace to naturally absorb all that heavy, gross energy. Step 3 is element activation. Throw open a window to get some fresh air. Dip your fingers in clean water and flick drops around your desk while verbally commanding that only high-focus, wealth-building energy is welcome. And step 4, renewal. After 24 hours, you wash that salt and water straight down the drain to carry all that absorbed negative energy away.
And finally, we've made it to part 5, crushing your internal doubts. This is the mindset override. Because let's be real, you could do all the rituals and workspace cleanses in the world, and it won't mean a thing if you're actively sabotaging yourself from the inside. So I want you to really reflect on this question for a second. Which fear is actually holding you back? To successfully crush the internal blocks that stop your manifestation, the source material insists that we have to tackle the exact fear acting as your primary bottleneck. The text actually narrows it down to 3 very specific manifestation blockers. Number 1, imposter syndrome. That's that super annoying, nagging voice in your head telling you that you don't actually know what you're doing and that you're just going to fail or look stupid. Number 2, scarcity and time. This is the sheer panic of running out of runway, fearing you'll put in all this hard work and literally no one is going to hire you or buy what you're selling. And number 3, exhaustion and burnout, where you simply feel too physically or mentally drained to even open a blank document or send out one more application.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to chew on. Which one of those fears resonates with you the most right now? The whole premise of these spiritual technologies is that once you can pinpoint your specific dominant fear, you can use the exact mental override and vocal command we talked about to dissolve it on the spot. You clear the pathway for your Ashe to finally manifest the success you're commanding. But identifying the fear? That is the absolutely crucial first step to overriding it. Keep that in mind as you set your goals today.